Hey guys, so we're going to go over the second 9 weeks mid-test review. Whoop, whoop. Your test is next Friday, which is November 11th. Yes, thank you, Miss O. November 11th, okay? So study, watch the review, and you should be ready to go. Let's jump into number 1. So it says the list shows the number of people that bought mozzarella sticks at Sonic for 7 days. Yum. Yay. What factor did the number of customers change each day from the first day to the 6th day? So I look at that word factor, and I think about like multiplication facts. So we're trying to think about what am I multiplying by to get from day 1 to day 2? Well, I know 7 times 3 is 21. And if you look to get from 21 to 63, I'm also multiplying by
3.
Oh my goodness. And look, it's going to keep on going, and I'm multiplying by 3 all the way down. So the factor that is getting changed each day is 3. Look how easy that problem is. That should be 100%.
Everybody should get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so number 2, it says, which of the equations are not true?
Ooh, yes.
Select 2 that
Ooh.
apply. So for the first one, I see that we are adding, so it looks like we might need to do a team positive and team negative. My 5 is positive, so it goes on the positive side, and my 7 is negative, so that's going to go on the negative side. I know they're different signs, so I need to subtract. So 7 minus 5 is 2. And which team won? The negative team. So that should be a negative 2. Did we get negative 2?
Oh, no.
Nope. So, wait.
Wait,
we're looking
I think we're looking for not true.
Yeah, we're looking for not true. So that one is one of our answers.
Good job.
Let's see, this next one, it's 5 times negative 7. And I think that's going to be a Dorito Man. So let me draw one. And then we're going to multiply like normal. So 5 times 7 is
35.
I had a positive and a negative. I'm left with a negative. So the answer is negative 35. So that one is correct. So that is not our answer. Then this next one, there's a subtraction. So we're going to KCO. We're going to have our 5. We're keeping it. Change it to addition. And do the opposite of negative 7, which is positive 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. They put negative 12. So that one is not true.
There's our other one.
Let's see.
Yep.
Should we stop here or should we double check?
Double check.
Double
This is a
check.
Double
summative.
check. So this one, we have an addition. So that looks like a team positive. Let me change colors here. So team positive, team negative. We have a negative 5 on the negative side and a negative 7 on the negative side. They are the same sign, so we are going to add them. 7 plus 5 is 12. And team negative 1. So the answer for that one was negative 12. That one's correct, so that is not our answer. Then this last one, it is subtracting, so we have to KCO this one as well. Keep our 5, change subtraction to addition. Do the opposite of positive 7, which is negative 7. Go ahead and do another team positive, team negative. 5's on the positive side, 7's on the negative side. They are different signs, so we need to subtract. So 7 minus 5. I believe we got 2 earlier. So this time, team negative 1, so that's a negative 2, and that was the answer there. So that one's correct, so that one's not our answer. So it was, in fact, the first one and the third one.
Woo, good job.
Good job.
Okay. Number next. Okay.
Miss Jay's playing with the colors.
Sorry. Some storage thing popped up. Okay. Bob is making chili. Ooh, I love chili. He mixes 5 cups of beans. Okay, I'm going to highlight that. That sounds important. With every 2 cups of meat, okay? Which table shows possible values for chili? With the number of cups of B, so B represents beans, and the number of cups M for meat. M is meat. Okay, so let me check out these tables. Let's see which one is actually set up correctly. So we have beans is 5, right? Beans equals 5.
Yes.
That one's okay. That is not 5. That is wrong.
No.
Okay,
No,
next
beans-
one.
beans
Let's
out.
see. Beans is 5. Correct. Beans is 5. Okay, good. Okay, these 3 are set up correctly. Let's look. Okay. So for number A, letter A, we go 5 times 2 to get to 10, right? So then whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. 2 times 2 is 4. That one's looking good. Okay, before we move on, I'm going to do all of these one, okay? 5, what do we do to 5 to get to 6?
You added 1.
Yes.
We add 1.
We don't add.
We don't
we're
add.
scale.
Scale factors,
Ooh,
multiply or
he's out.
divide.
Get rid of him.
Bye-bye. Okay, what about 5 to 25? Ooh, I think we multiply it by 5. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. That is not
Ooh.
correct.
That is not
That's
correct.
supposed to be 10. So, I think it's A.
I
I
agree.
I agree.
And I think I'm done.
Woo-woo. Good job, Miss J. All right, they say next, I say number 4, sorry. Miss Neal can work 7 math problems in 20 minutes. Whew, she's fast. At this rate, how many minutes would it take Miss Neal to solve 56 problems? I think we're going to need what kind of chart? SN. Let me draw that really quick. Now I'm looking back here. She can work 7 problems in 20 minutes. So I think we're going to go problems to minutes. Uh-oh, that's like a triple M. Minutes. 7 to 20. Am I looking good, everybody?
Looks
Yeah.
So at this rate, how many minutes? So I'm going to look for this number. I'm looking here. If she solves 56 problems. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I know my math facts.
Oh, makes
Yeah,
it so
me
much
too.
easier.
Because I know that my factor or my scale factor, because they can ask that many ways.
Mm-hmm.
7 times 8, whatever I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. So 20 times 8 is 160. Oh, there's a oh, that's right. If the decimal's out of sight, place that on the right. So my 160 goes in those boxes. I believe that is our answer.
Make sure you grade right on the test.
Make sure.
Okay.
Oh, I went way past
Okay.
that.
That's okay. We'll back up.
Miss O's ready to be done.
Number 20.
Question 5. Angie and Kim are painting. What beautiful names.
I know.
They each added glitter to their paint. Angie mixed 2 ounces of glitter for every 4 ounces. I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to make me a ratio
Oh, good.
for Angie. She did 2 for every 4. Okay. And Kim mixed, I think I'm going to need a Kim ratio, 3 ounces of glitter for every 9 ounces of paint. Which statement is true? Angie used less, Kim used more, Angie used more, Kim used less. Well, I'm going to get these more friendly by
Simplifying, yes.
Oh, Angie had 1/2 or 50% or 0.5. Kim,
I didn't know your benchmarks.
I do.
I know, look at
She's
that.
a benchmark as well. She's got 1/3 or 33%. Seems like Angie's using more there with her 1/2
I
or
think
50%. So I'm going to get rid of A. That one says Angie used less. Kim used more. C. Angie used more. That's right.
Ooh,
Angie
we like that
did.
one.
Okay, and I'm going to keep that one. Put a question mark right here. And Kim used less because 1/2 is less than 1/3. Kim did not have 1/2.
I
That
didn't.
is wrong. They
No.
tried to trick me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, C is my answer.
Good job, Miss Kim.
Thank you.
Woo.
All right.
Okay, number next. A grocery store sold 18% of its produce on Monday. If the grocery store sold 108 produce items on Monday, how many produce items did the store have in stock to begin with? Okay, so this is a percent, so I'm going to need to know to use fraction bar equals fraction bar.
So is this like that part and whole thing?
That part and whole
What?
thing, yeah. So
Okay.
remember with fraction bar equals fraction bar, it is always part over whole equals percent over
100.
Good.
Good
100.
job.
Always out of 100. So now I'm going to set up my own fraction bar problem. Here we go. I know what my percent is because it has the percent sign. So I'm going to put my 18% here.
Over 100.
Over 100.
Yes, which is always over
100.
100.
100.
Good. That number never changes.
100. 100.
Thank you, Miss Kemp.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Kemp. I got it.
Okay.
Good. Okay, and then this is the tricky part. I got to figure out if 108 is my part or my whole. So I like to look at the problem and kind of think about it. So it says if the grocery store sold 108 produce items on Monday, I want to know the total stock they had to begin with. So I'm going to say 108 is my part because that's the part that they sold on Monday.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put 108 up here because part is always on top. So that's where I put it. So this time I'm looking for the whole. Okay. So there's two different ways we can do this. Remember we learned about using our scale factor, or we learned a new way this past week. We can cross multiply.
Let's do the butterfly math.
Okay, so you always multiply your diagonal numbers. So I'm going to multiply 108 times 100. And
That's
we
easy.
learned that multiplying by 100, really, we're just moving our decimal places to the
Right.
right. So I have 108. Miss,
Add
what was
two
your saying?
zeros.
If the decimal's out of sight, place it on the
There
right.
we go. So there he is. And then we're going to move him. Bloop, bloop.
2 places.
Placeholders.
Put our placeholders in. So really, I've got 10,800. But I'm not done. I still have to divide by this leftover number, which is
18.
18. So I've got 10,800 inside and 18 outside.
Yay.
Okay, 18 cannot go into 1. Can't go into 10. But it can go into 108
6
Six
times.
times.
6 times, which is exactly
108.
108. Good. And I'm not done yet. Notice I still have these 2 zeros, so I've got to make sure to put those up top as well.
Oh,
Don't
that's
leave them.
tricky.
Don't leave them naked. Don't do it.
Don't do it. So my whole is 600.
Woo woo. Good job.
Good job.
Sorry,
you.
I fell asleep there.
For this next one. The Walmart in Gun Barrel City has 135 employees for 4,725 customers. Which rate best represents the relationship between Walmart employees and Walmart customers? I think this is going to be a UKSN problem.
I think
I agree.
too.
So let's set up our UKSN. I don't think I'm going to have a total line because I didn't see the word total in my problem.
Mhm.
And it looks like I'm talking about employees and customers. So I'm going to put E for employee and C for customers. And I know from my problem that it's going to be 135 employees and 4,725 customers. And then it didn't give me anything because of the problem. So let's look at our questions. So A says 35 customers per Walmart employee. This per, I think, what does a
Oh,
per
it means
mean?
1. It means
One.
So let's check this one out. So if I put 35 customers, let's put 31 up here in the no, because we know there's one employee for 35. So let's double check. I can get 135 to 1 by dividing by 135. So now I'm going to have to divide 4,725 by 135.
Yucky.
So let's go ahead and set up that division problem.
You've got this.
You can do it.
You got
I
it.
got it. Okay, it can't go into 4. It can't go into 40. How many times can it go into 472? I think it's going to be 3.
3.
3
Yes.
times.
3. That's going to give me 405. We're going to subtract. That's going to leave me with 7 and 6. 67. Then we're going to drop down that 5. How many times can 135 go into 675?
5.
5 times.
5 times.
That's going to give me exactly 675. And we're left with 0. So it said my answer is 35. Is that what that first one told me? It did. It said 35 customers per one Walmart employee. So I think that one's correct.
Yay!
This next one's saying 30 per one customer. Well, we just checked it. It's 35, so it can't be B. And then for this one, it says 35 Walmart employees per customer.
Can you imagine if you were shopping and 35 people with the blue vests are following you around?
Get away from me.
Only customer
Yeah.
in Walmart.
Yeah.
No way.
No way.
So these two are saying that there's 30 employees. That's
No.
too many people per
No.
customer, so it cannot be C or D. So our answer is A.
Woo-woo! Good job.
Good
Okay.
job.
Ooh, sorry. Number next. Sorry, my kids love when I say that. Okay, so match each number with its equivalent form. Ooh, okay. So this first one looks like it's a fraction, and I have decimals and percent. So I'm going to turn it into both. I know to turn this into a decimal, I can just say it and write it. This is 6/10.
Mm.
So that means that's 0. Isn't that right?
It's a 6 in the tenths place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I think that's that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just to double check.
No,
No,
it's not that
wait.
one. That's a 6 in the hundreds place, Miss J.
Just to double check, I'm going to change it into a power sign.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
1, 2.
we jumped the gun. We're so sorry.
I'm
So
going to do
sorry.
Dr. Pepper. That's what I just did, like that. And then, so in a percent, it's 60%.
Not 600.
Okay, so I think we're right on this one, right? Okay. Ooh, 3/50. Ooh. I know that if I multiply 50, I can get to 100
100.
by 2.
100.
Whatever I do to one
100.
side, I do to the other.
100.
Miss Kemp, there are
I'm
no
pretty sure
100.
rights for
that's
you later.
6. 3 times 2 is 6. Ooh, I can say it and write it. 600.
It's going to be in the hundredths place.
In the hundredths place. So 0.06.
But wait, Miss J, you circled that one already for the first one.
Oh, did I do the wrong one?
That's okay. Fix it. It was just
Oh,
a
look, I
boo-boo.
literally wrote it here. Uh-oh. Is that
No
what you guys
worries.
are telling me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Okay, now this one is this one, right?
Yeah.
And if I change this into a percent, because I have a percent over here, it's going to be 6%, and I don't have that. So it's 0.06. Sorry. Make sure you read, not like Ms. J, please. Okay,
Well, we all make boo-boos. It's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
and then to change 6 into a percent, I'm going to multiply by 100, and we learned how to multiply by 100. 1, ooh, stop trying to help me. 1, 2.
Add your zeros.
Yay.
600%.
We have it.
And that's our last one, so I think we're correct.
Good
Okay.
job.
And on your test, you can only check one box for each thing. I think it'll let you hit more than one. You need to only hit one box per each line.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Don't try to do more than one.
Yes.
Good deal.
You know
All
what
right.
else is good to know? 100 goes on the bottom. of the
Yes.
percent.
Always.
I love that you know that. I'm so proud of you. All right, number next. A cheetah traveled 480 miles in 8 hours. Okay, Miss O's already thinking it's a rate or something. Oh, look, the next word.
Ooh.
Which rate is equivalent to the rate at which the cheetah traveled? Okay, so that means I need 2 fraction lines here. And Miss O's really picky. She talks about her labels. It's miles to hours. So we have 480 miles to 8 hours. And I don't have a third number. Oh my, what happens when we don't have a third number?
Check the answer.
Yeah, check your answers. Look over here. Oh, what does
per.
that word mean?
Per.
One. So I'm going to 1 hour here. So if 8 went in, what happened there? Mathematically, what's your scale? I think that's divide by 8.
I agree.
I'd agree. Here we go. 8 divided by 8. That's going to be 6 because 48 divided by 8 is 6. Bring in that 0 for 60. Okay, so let's check. 60 miles per hour. That one looks good. 3,000. No,
No.
I already got that.
Way too big.
60 hours per. No.
No, they flipped it.
And there's that ugly number again. It is.
It's a
Enter
slow cheetah.
choice. Hey, that is a slow cheetah. All right. Miss
Okay.
Kemp, what is the denominator under percent?
100.
Nicely
Woo!
done. Woo!
100. All right. Number 10, use the circles and squares to answer the following question. Which ratio, I know a ratio is a comparison of two quantities.
Good job, Miss
Which
Steph.
ratio would be equivalent to squares and circles? Okay, so I'm going to make me a UKSN here. UKSN. Because I want to just make sure I label my units. And my units are squares and circles. So I'm going to count my squares. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. And I'm going to count my circles. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 circles. And I am going to simplify. So I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to scale it down by 4. So this is equivalent to 1 square for every 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I'm looking at my answer choices. This is looking good. I've got A. B, there's no way there's 4 squares for 1 circle.
No.
3 squares for 1 circle.
That one's backwards.
That one's backwards. 1 square for 4 circles. No. So I'm going A is my answer.
Woohoo! Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, number next. If 7 cats can eat 18 cups of cat food, 18 cups of food, then how many cups of food can 21 cats eat? Okay, so I've got these 7 cats, and then they tried to trick me. They wrote it in word form there.
I know.
But we know that's a number, okay? 7 cats. If you want to write the number 7 over it, that's usually what I do. So we're comparing 2 quantities, like Miss Kemp already said. When we're comparing 2 quantities, that is a ratio. So I'm going to use my skill, UKSN. Okay, and my 2 units here, we're talking about cats, and we're talking about food. So I know the ratio they told me was that 7 cats can eat 18 cups of food. And then I need to figure out how many cups of food can 21 cats eat. So I'm going to put that 21 up on top to match with cats. So then I got to figure out what my scale factor is. To get from 7 to 21, I know that 7 times 3 is 21. Whatever I do to the top,
Gotta do to the bottom.
gotta do to the bottom. So then I have to multiply 18 times 3. I know 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So I know 21 cats can eat 54 cups of food.
Good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Cat sounds.
Okay. So, for number 12, Miss O bought 20 pencils for $10.
They
Dang.
tried to trick you.
They did.
No wonder I'm broke.
At this rate, which statement would be true?
She needs to come to
So-
tutoring.
This looks like a proportion. I'm going to set up a proportion for this one. It was 20 pencils for every $10. But it didn't give me anything else. It did say select 2 correct answers. So I'm going to have to look at my answer choices to figure out what it's going to be equal to. So let's set up this first one. It says 18 pencils would cost $11. So let's put 18 in the top for the pencils, and let's double check it. So 18 times 10, well, that's going to be 180. And because I am cross multiplying those 2, I'm going to divide by the 20. And I know that goes in there 9 times. 2 goes, yes, 2
Yes.
times 9 is going to be my
Sorry, I fell asleep.
18. And so my answer here will be 9.
Oh, that doesn't match.
That doesn't match the 11.
Wah, wah, wah.
So let's set it up again. We're going to keep the same first one because we're looking at 20 pencils to $10. And this one says it is equal to 40 pencils to $20. Well, let's see. Ooh, this one I can scale. I can scale 20 times 2 to get me 40.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 times 2 gets me 20.
Ooh, yay.
Yay!
That matches.
Whoop, whoop.
But we need 2.
Oh, we
Yeah,
gotta
we
keep
need
going.
2.
2.
Okay, let me change colors one more time. For this one, it is going to keep the same first part. And then we're going to have it equal to, it says 16 pencils for $8. Well, let's see. 10 times 16 is 160. Divided by 20. If I take out those zeros, 2 can go into 16 8 times. So that's going to give
Ooh,
me
yes.
8. Yeah,
That's what they
that
said.
matches. So let's see. This next one, it's going to be the same first part. P and $sign. It's going to be equal to, it says 35 pencils on top. And actually, I'm going to do the money first. Let's double check the money first because that's going to look a little bit easier. Let's put 20
yeah.
on bottom. Because I know I can scale this one by 2 to
Good
make
eye.
it easier. So it's 20 times 2. That's 40. That's not 35 pencils.
No.
So these 2 are my answers.
Okay. So number 13 says Miss Kemp completed 5/8 of the problems on her math quiz. Ooh.
That's
Okay.
because I know 100's the bottom.
What percent is equivalent to the fraction of problems that Miss Kemp completed? Okay. So I'm going to circle my numbers because we're in math class. What percent? Okay. So I think I'm going to divide this fraction.
Gross.
Gross.
Neato,
Very
neato.
gross.
No.
Ned and Donkey. 'cause that's
Or if
my
you know
new
your
word on the
benchmark
quiz.
fractions, this is a benchmark
Yeah.
fraction. Interesting.
Benchmark.
Just saying.
Okay, yes, we have also done this a lot of times, so you should memorize it. Okay, and I need to add decimal 000.
Raise
Because
the roof.
is the roof. It goes into 5 0 times. It goes into 50,
6.
and that is 48. And then we got to do a little bit of minus. That's 2. Gotta bring down. And that's 2. That's 16. Minus that is 4. Oops, sorry, Miss O, I went into your problem. Carry down the 0. Ooh.
Wait.
8 times 5 is 40.
Yes.
Ooh. And then I know I have it as a decimal, but I gotta change it into a percent. So I'm just gonna Dr. Pepper.
Pepper.
And then we're gonna go 1, 2. So I go 1, 2. So my percent is 62.5%.
B.
Please do not forget Dr. Pepper. Okay, which it does look like it's big. Okay,
Which is the only one that makes sense because if I have 5 out of 8, that's over half, and the only percent that's over 50% is 62.
I mean, look at C and D.
I
How
know.
funny they are.
That makes no sense.
It does not make sense at all. All right, Miss O's not using green. Green is not her favorite color.
You can erase that 40 if you need to.
No, it's all right. I'll just read over it. You guys, can y'all see it? Wait.
Sure,
I can see it.
Miss J has tutoring 15 out of the 25 school days in October. Which value is equivalent to the fraction of the school days in October that Miss J had tutoring? Okay, so when Miss O read that, right away, this jumped out 15 out of 25.
Part and whole.
Part to whole. I
Ratio,
have a
ratio.
15 out of a 25.
Simplify.
I know, simplify, but you know, if you divide by 5, what is, because I don't know, it just makes me nervous. I'm going to divide them both by 5. Sometimes I simplify and I don't need to. 3/5.
It's benchmark.
Benchmark, it is, let's go. What is it? 5 goes in if we're trying to make it, what?
100. 100.
Thank
100.
you.
100.
I'm going to try this first because I like this. This is easier. It's friendlier.
Mm,
What's 5 times 20?
100.
3 times 20?
60.
It's 60. So that would be 6 tenths, 60 hundredths, 60%. Nice. Okay. Look at A. 6. Oh no, look, that's a 6 hundredths, not tenths. Okay, 152, that's just dumb. Don't pick that one. Don't pick that one. 60%, lovely. Nope, it was not 50%. Our answer is C. Miss O might not have even simplified if she was doing this one. She might have gone from 25 to 100.
True, that one's a pretty
Yeah,
number.
that was a pretty friendly one. She kind of did extra math.
What helps you is knowing that 100.
Mhm.
That's what helps. All right. Miss Reynolds placed the following points on a number line. Point A, negative 27 thirds. Point B, 8 halves. Point C, 15 thirds. Point E, negative 6 thirds. Which point is not correctly placed on the number line? So we're looking for one that's not. Well, I know that this division bar right here, this fraction bar thing, means division.
It does.
So I'm going to divide. I know that 27 divided by 3 is 9, and that is negative 9. So that's point A. B, I also know that this means divide. So 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Positive 4.
Positive 4, yes. And point C, 15 divided by 3 is 5.
Positive.
Positive. And point E, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And this one did have a negative, so negative 2. All right, so let's check these. Negative 9. Here's 0. I'm going to go to negative 9. Point A is in the right place.
Oh, he looks good, yeah.
He looks good. Okay, point B. I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go to 4. Yep, that one looks good. So he's in the right place. Point C needs to be at 5. Uh-oh, I'm looking at C.
Ooh.
That's
Oh.
a 7.
That's at 7.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Point C is in the wrong place. And let me just double check that point E is at negative 2, and it is.
Yay.
So my answer that is not correctly placed is C. Point C.
Good job.
Good. You know what else I know?
Miss Kim, have you heard?
Percent is over 100.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Our lowest question from our last test.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Which point shows the value of, remember we see those bars, that means absolute value.
Value.
Absolute value.
Each bar is a word. Think of it that
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
Absolute value.
So we're trying to find the absolute value of negative 1 3/4. Okay, absolute value measures distance. Distance cannot be negative. We're figuring out how far is negative 1 3/4 from 0 on the number line. It's positive. Anytime you see those bars, it's positive. It's what?
Always. It's positive.
Positive.
Absolute value is always positive.
Every single time. So absolute value of negative 1 3/4 is positive 1 3/4 because absolute value is
Positive.
every single time. So I'm automatically going to mark off anything to the left of 0 on the number line because this is all negative. So it can't be A and it can't be B because those are both negative. And absolute value is?
Positive.
Okay,
Are we positive it's positive?
I'm positive.
I'm
Positively
yes, that absolute
positive.
value is positive.
Okay, so then looking here, I need 1 and then a little bit more. Okay, well, if I look at C, C didn't even make it to 1, so he can't be it.
He's not it.
So the only answer left is D, which is
Woo-hoo!
positive 1 3/4.
I'm positively positive you are correct.
Yes,
Positive.
positive.
Okay, let's look at
Positive.
17. The rectangular model is made up of squares. Each square is of equal size. What percent is shaded of the model? So, I know my class, we always say if we see a picture, we must draw a fraction. So, let's count the total first. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down.
Don't
So-
assume it's 100. It's
Don't.
not.
I was just going to say the same thing.
No, so
Always
it looks
count.
like 5
Count
times
it.
8 will give me 40. So that's my total. And then how many did it ask me for? It asked for my shaded. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 shaded.
So it's
what did
22%, right?
No, because
Oh,
it
because
asked me.
percent, Miss Kim
Yeah.
is over what?
100, 100.
We're only
100.
under 40.
100.
But wait, I can't take 40 to 100.
Simplify.
Well,
Yes.
they know you know how to do.
We can simplify. So let's go ahead and simplify this fraction. I'm going to go by 2 first.
I agree.
So 22 divided by 2 is 11, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. Can I now take 20 to 100?
Yes.
Yay!
So I can do that by multiplying by 5. So 11 times 5, that's going to give me 55.
55.
Is it just a regular 55?
55%.
Good, 55%.
Nicely done.
Okay. Number 18. It says, give me 1 second. It says 4 students are trying to raise the same amount of money for a class trip. The table below shows how much of each student's goal has been met. Okay. I see a table. I know I'm going to use my, what is it called? The little table?
Ladder.
A ladder. There you go. Ooh, you can't see that. Miss Kemp gets mad at me because I don't use it.
Yes, use a ladder.
Miss
Use a
J,
ladder.
use your
Wow,
ladder.
use your ladder.
Use your strategies.
Yes. Don't be like me, guys. Okay. So, I think I'm going to change everything into money. I want everything looking like money.
Money, money,
Ka-ching.
money.
Okay.
Decimals.
So, decimals. This is already a decimal. Whew.
Mhm.
And then 2 over 3, I know.
Threes
Just
repeat,
like
threes
fractions.
repeat, threes repeat.
Yeah. 6 repeat.
Yes, 6 repeating. 6
Six,
tenths.
six, six, six,
Or
six.
66 hundredths.
Mm-hmm. And then 5 over 8, we did that earlier.
Oh my gosh, we
Oh
just
my
did
gosh,
it.
we can look back.
What? I'm pretty sure it was this. And then 65%,
Don't
we just
forget
added that
the-
after that. And it becomes this one. Whew. Now that they all looking like decimals, like money, it says which list shows the numbers in the table from least to greatest. Okay, from L to G. Okay, so going place value to place value, we have zeros. We can't compare that. This one is 7, 6, 6, and 6. Okay, so I think 7 is gonna be my last one.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be in 4th place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just hold on from him. And going on to the next ones, we have 6, 2, and 5. Ooh, I think we can use those place values to compare. The least one is going to be 2, according to number line.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is going to be 5. And then after that is going to be 6. Okay, now that I have it placed up, let's see which one has that. And remember to go back to these over here. They're never going to include the ones that we changed it into, okay? We're looking at these over here. Okay, so let me zoom out a little. Okay, so the first one should be 5 over 8. Ooh, A and B already doesn't have that.
No.
I think they tried to do greatest to least on those.
They're not paying attention to the question.
Good thing we wrote L to G on our paper.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one is going to be 65%. Ooh, that's C. I'm done.
Nice. All right, number next. Miss Neal collects pencils and pens. The ratio to the number of pens to total writing utensils is 6 to 13. Oh, I heard the word total. I'm thinking of total line. I'm thinking of UKSN. Which number could be the number of pencils collected? Select 2 answers that apply. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 answers. Oh, that was no bueno. I should not have done that. That was bad. Okay, so we're just going to put a circle around it. 2. We need 2 answers. Okay, so I'm going to make my UKSN. UKSN. All right, my units.
Thanks, Miss Kemp, for covering for me.
You bet. My units are pencils. It says here pencils and pens.
Why do they both start with P-E-N? Oh my gosh.
Pen. And then I said I'm going to need a
Total
line.
Total.
So I'm adding my total down here at the bottom. Okay. The ratio of the number of pens to total. Oh my gosh, this right here is important.
Oh gosh, that's the big thing
So
right there.
pens to total. So the first number I get is going to be a pens number. And the next number they give me is going to be a total number. The first number they're giving me is a 6. Okay, that's a pen number. Don't put it in the pencils, put it in the pens. Okay, and then the next number that they're giving me is a 13. And we said that was going to be a total. So let's put it in the total line. This is where I'm going to have to use my brain. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Something plus 6 totals 13. Something plus 6 totals.
Well, 6
13.
plus 6 is 12.
Well, that's not it then.
But it's just
No.
one more.
Oh.
One more.
So 7 plus 6 is 13. So I know that I could scale this by any factor of 7.
7.
So I'm going to make a list here for you because I can count by 7s. Watch this. 7.
14.
Thank you.
Don't help her. She can do
21.
it.
I can do it.
All by herself.
28. 35. 42. Stop right there and see if I got, what do I got? I need to pick 2. Okay, 35 is on my list.
Yes.
Checking it. Check. 45 is not on my list because my next number would be 49. Here, I'll write over here for you guys. 49. Okay, so not that one. 36 is not on my list.
Nope.
26 is not on my list.
Nope.
14 on my list. And 12 is not on my list. It's a good thing I know my multiples and my
It's a good
factors.
Oh.
Sorry.
All
All
right.
right.
Number last.
Just gonna say I heard some juicy stuff as I ran to the restroom a moment ago. I will share with y'all when we delete the video.
Okay.
When we end it.
Okay.
Just saying. All right, we have to complete the sentences below. When multiplying two positive multiplying. Who are we gonna call?
Dorito
Dorito Man.
I think we've been multiplying positive factors since we've been in the second grade.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I think so. Okay, so if there are two positives, it's gonna be what?
Positive.
Positive. Multiplying two negatives. Okay, so cover it up.
Negative.
Negative. Who's it left?
Positive.
Positive.
It's because they like each other.
Mm.
I know.
It's so positive. Yeah, probably.
When multiplying a negative and a positive, our product will be
Negative.
negative.
They don't like each other.
Woo-hoo!